Let's do it in 3, 2, 1.
Go! Hey!
Do you want the go? I can give you the go.
I like the go. Hey, it's a
Uh-huh.
Russ and Bo 2.0 podcast. I'm Russ Rollins, host of the program, and I am with 265 pounds of screaming, stealing sex appeal, the big man, Bo Rose.
What's up? Damn it, man, did I have a good time, nice and easy last night.
That's what I heard.
And so much so, we're back here today.
I had heard from the owner that you had a wonderful time.
I always have a good time here.
This is Bo's bar. This is like, when Bo walks in, they know it's Bo. Bo!
There's beer on the bar waiting for me, depending on where I sit.
Yeah.
The bartenders are awesome.
It's awesome. Now, you can see the bar because we're putting this live on our YouTube channel.
Yep.
It's Real Radio Monsters on YouTube, so you can see nice and easy. And there's a whole bunch of people here, which is awesome.
A lot of our bar staff, everybody's waving. There's Jen, there's Steph, there's Kenny, there's Easy-E,
Bo knows
Misty,
everybody.
my new favorite girlfriend, Mel, my old favorite girlfriend, and Liz, our bartender. And then the two owners, Eggy and Rick, are here too as well.
Little known fact about Nice and Easy, and it is a very comfortable, cool place. The owner's
It's a neighborhood bar.
Little known fact about this bar. Last time I was here, Savannah was working here.
Yeah.
Remember
Well,
that?
it's not a little known fact here.
Oh yeah, they all know. Yeah, Savannah was working here, and I came to hang out with you and Savannah at this Nice and Easy bar.
Actually,
What?
I'll tell the story better.
Okay, go ahead.
They called me in because you had come out, hang out early that day,
true.
and you were hammered, and they knew I was the only one who would be able to get you out of here.
No, that is the accurate story.
That is the truth.
And I didn't remember it until you just said it. Yeah, I had hung out here all day, and they're like, hey, nobody can handle Russ.
Exactly.
Let's get up.
Get on the phone. Where you at? Get on down here. But, you know, they
And you were so happy that I was here.
I know, exactly. Just so you know, 10 years ago, I was barred from this place. I got thrown out for grabbing a girl's butt, I think.
Wow.
Man,
They let you back in.
He's been banned from many a bar.
Just
Ryan
two,
Holmes.
but I'm always get back in.
By the way, Ryan Holm here with us.
There's one in Sanford, though, right? Like, you're still...
No.
No?
Downtown.
No,
Where are we at right
Casey
now?
downtown.
No, it's the place where C-Lane plays. Casey's on Central.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bo's banned. Even though they changed owners, they
I
said,
think I'm
listen,
still banned, yeah.
listen, we're selling the bar, but this guy don't let him in.
Exactly. It's part of their contract.
Is that,
You can buy it as long as you let Bo in.
I don't think that's legal, is it?
Anything's legal in a sale.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Well, you got that going for you.
So-
by the way, another little known fact about Nice and Easy. The wings
Yeah.
are on point.
Not a little known fact. I've been telling you that for months.
Yeah, well-
I come here. I can eat anywhere in this city I want to. My wife's a good cook. Our mom's a good cook.
Yeah.
Your wife's a good cook.
Yeah.
Restaurants everywhere I can eat at.
Yeah.
I choose to come here and eat chicken wings.
And I don't know how many we had. Who's counting?
Right. Well, I wasn't counting your 15 to my 5, but that's okay. I'll get more later when you're not here.
How is he going to count how many wings I had compared to how many wings you had?
I wasn't counting how many I had. You had. I counted how many I had,
Oh.
and you ate the rest.
So you did simple math.
Subtraction this time instead of addition.
That's what we learned at Edgewater High School is subtraction. Did you get some wings, Holmesy?
I did. I had 10, and I didn't go beast mode and go 15 like an animal.
Well,
Ryan
no.
got his hot.
No, Ryan had he was served 10. He got 9 in his mouth and 1 all over his nasty ass beard. That beard catches every nasty
it
bit
does.
of.
It's an air filter.
It's coming off, right? Isn't it coming off soon?
It's never coming off.
Aren't
This
you going to
beer-
do something for charity with it
Well,
or something?
That would have to be a lot of charity.
That's the plan. Okay, when we do our we're doing a telethon soon.
Right.
is If we get enough money, I'm gonna bully him into shaving the beard for charity. But right now he doesn't know that. This is he just
I didn't let the cat out of the bag. I just thought I heard that.
This is a lot of work, Bo, on this beard, and I can just let it go.
Boy, doesn't it look like a lot of work?
Yeah, it does.
You just lay
Looks
there.
like you put a lot of work into that.
You lay there and it grows all nasty.
Yeah, and you got to pick food out of it. That's the hard part.
And then you call that work.
You need a
Several
bird.
$100s in beard oils.
That's
is what I
what-
paid it.
you
That's a
need
millennial thing,
You
right?
need a bird so you can pick the garbage out of your beard.
When growing a beard is considered work, that's a millennial thing, right?
Bro, don't even get me started on millennials. I ain't got time for that. Them sons of bitches.
Are you working on growing your pubic hair too? is that work
Yeah.
as well?
How's that?
Oh, that's even more magical. You know how much pubic hair oil costs?
God almighty, that's just disgusting.
What was you doing just now?
It's-
Somebody walked by with smoke?
No, it's him. I'm just.
Oh, it's pubic hair.
I'm thinking about his pubic hair. I'm trying to get it out of my head. a nasty thought. By the way, we're live on our YouTube channel, Real Radio Monsters on YouTube, and this is the Russ and Bo 2.0 podcast. If you're listening, I guess I don't need to promote
Liz,
it.
can I have a beer? Oh, sorry.
Another beer, yeah. Product placement.
Russ needs one, too.
We're at the Nice and Easy bar. So it's funny. I told someone today, Jack Bradshaw.
Yeah.
And he's like, where are you guys going today? I said, we're going to Nice and Easy. He goes, I've heard of that bar somewhere. I said, really? Where? And he goes, oh, what's up? I had a nice time at Nice and Easy last night. I said, that's exactly that's where you heard it.
You know what? I've been coming here for a lot of years, and recently, and I haven't given Rick this correlation yet.
Yeah.
But my thought is, and I could be totally wrong.
Thank you, Rick.
But recently, I have seen more younger, different faces in this bar.
Young ladies?
No, not a lot of girls. but no, I've seen guys bring their girls in and sit at the bar like in their 20s.
Yeah.
People playing pool. A lot of different faces in this neighborhood bar.
They must have heard you're going to be here.
No, I think it's because Rick cleaned the place up a little bit. Because believe it or not, this used to be a dive.
Really?
This used to be a hole-in-the-wall.
Used to be a dive bar.
Oh, yeah. There was you wouldn't. Believe it or not, this place used to be a dive.
If it was a dive at one point, I bet Jeff Howe played here.
He did.
Oh, yeah,
Several
okay.
times. Jeff played here a couple times. As a matter of fact, you don't know this, but back when we were Russ and Bo together.
We're still Russ and Bo together.
Yeah, you guys you're still Russ and Bo.
Back when
we're Russ and Bo 2.0. So back when we were Russ and Bo 1.
Yeah.
Back in the first go-round, we did 1 or 2 events at Cheers over here. On the other side of town.
I remember, yeah.
And Rick was the owner of that bar at the time.
I'll be damned.
Yeah, so he was
Hey,
excited.
that looks familiar.
Yeah.
You know how it is with me. I see people, I'm like, God, it looks familiar. I don't know exactly where.
Well,
that's where it was.
He also looks like that guy, Hemingway, too.
He looks like Hemingway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
From the Keys.
Or Santa Claus.
Or Santa Claus.
Yeah,
Right.
one of the two.
But good people,
hey,
I'm going to tell you. I come over,
okay, what we haven't done is we haven't told people how to get here, though, because I didn't know how to get here. I got a little lost. So
you can Google it. We got a great They got a great website.
They got
an official employee of
Oh,
Nice
yeah,
and
exactly.
Easy. That's
they got
what I realized.
a great way. It's nice and easy. It's right off of what?
Country Club and Lake Mary Boulevard.
Lake Mary Boulevard.
Country Club Road and Lake Mary
Right
Boulevard.
across from SCC. Right?
I was
Isn't
right.
it?
I was right on Lake Mary Boulevard, and I thought it was by your house, so I drove back to your house, and I realized I had to come right back to
Did
where
you
I
let
was.
the dogs out while you were there?
I did not.
You bastard.
No, I did not do that.
Okay. So what went on for you this week?
Well,
You're going to tell me a couple of things.
Well, let's start with this. Let's start with last week's podcast, which now has over 10,000. Well, it's over 10,000 on our YouTube channel and over 5,000 on the podcast. And that was last week when I tried to surprise you with the fact that Tuttle was going to be there.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, the reactions were pretty. What happened afterwards, I think, was actually pretty amazing. Now, for those that didn't listen to it, you should go back and listen to it or watch it. And last week, I invited someone who has been tormenting me for 5 years or so.
You know, you give that too much power. He's been giving you a ration of crap. There's no doubt. But torment, that's a lot. That's giving him a lot of power.
No. Calling my children, saying things on social media
that serious BS, no doubt.
That are lies. That really, Bo, it hurt my career. I mean, the things he said and did were really, it was tormenting. Okay. I mean, normally
I just think it gives him too much power.
Back in high school, I'd have punched him out and it'd been done, but you can't do that when you get older.
It just costs a lot more.
I decided not to be that way. But anyway, so we invited him. I invited him on. I didn't tell you. I didn't tell.
Surprise guest. You're going to have a great day, Bo. Surprise guest.
I didn't tell Holmby what we're going to do. I didn't tell even Scott York of all people.
Right.
Now you busted me out afterwards.
No, Scott did.
No, you did because I did tell my son.
Yeah.
And I told my son the day before as a learning lesson, as a teachable moment of, listen, son, I think it's good to learn how to forgive people because it's good for you, and you can be gone with any kind of anger you have. So I was trying to give him a life lesson.
Other
than that, I didn't tell anybody else.
Just so you know.
Did he tell you?
He kept your confidence.
Oh, he did?
In stride.
Because I was going to put my boot up his ass.
Even Scott York asked him, so you know, and he's like, oh, yeah, you guys are going to have a fun day. And,
but he didn't say
he goes, could you tell us, come on, tell us. And I was like, I said, tell us, right? And he goes, nope, I told my dad I wouldn't.
All right, good.
I said,
all right.
Okay, good job, brother.
One less reason for me to put my boot up his ass. That's good.
You need to leave that boy alone. It's mine now. Like I told his mother, he's mine.
All right, so Tuttle came on, And he pretty much, first we asked him about what.
Well, tell him, anybody who doesn't know Tuttle. I guess it wouldn't matter if they don't know Tuttle, right?
He was on the show. He
started with me and Ron and Fez in Daytona. He came to you. He worked his way up, got a position with you by your hand.
Yeah.
And was okay and being apart.
And then he came in drunk
and then he started screwing
and
it
doing too many pills or whatever, and he got fired. And after he got fired, he took all of his anger out on me, and basically
focused his attention on you.
Yes,
yeah.
I mean, telling lies about me, just calling my kids, and just working with my ex-wife to make things.
And Ryan's like, the guy called me, Bo.
Yeah. Horrible stuff. But anyway, I said, you know what? He got into a situation where he says he tried to commit suicide. And after that, he says he tried to commit suicide, I'm like, look, I'm going to be the bigger man, and I'm going to say, hey, Tuttle, I know you don't want to hear this from me, but I hope you're okay. I don't want to see anything bad happen to you. You know, keep your head up.
Yeah, you reached out to him.
I reached out to him.
You know,
and so
better than I would have.
After that, he got back to me and said, God, Russ, I've been such a jerk to you. I am so sorry. I shouldn't have done it. And I'm like, well, okay. And then he wanted to go out for lunch. Well, I don't like to go to lunch, people. I like to go with you.
You don't even like to go with me.
No, I do.
Bitch,
I go with you.
We got to guilt you into it.
No. I always go with you guys.
Okay.
I like going to lunch with you, Scotty York, and Ryan.
Right.
Other than that, if people I don't really know that much, I don't want to go out and be. I don't know.
It's an uncomfortable exit. If you're ready to go and they don't understand, because you disappear, you'll ghost somebody. Whenever we've been anywhere, if you're ready to go, you'll just ghost us.
But you won't get ad. You know that's just Russ.
I know who it is, right.
So anyway, I didn't really want to go to lunch, but I said, okay, if you really want to apologize, and since everything you did was publicly, then apologize on the podcast. So if you want to come on the podcast, you'll learn to look to. Well, he said, you know what, I would be glad to do that. And I'm like, okay.
That took a lot of nuts.
I'm like, that's cool. I appreciate that. So he came on. And basically, I told him that I forgave him. He told his story about suicide, and I guess he told other people a different story.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't hear this part.
Yeah, I found out from other people that were there. He never put the noose around his neck. He didn't hang there for 20 seconds. The fan didn't come out of the ceiling. Like a lot of stuff he told us was exaggerated. But
that's radio.
But I guess
that happens.
I don't know. Whatever.
I'm not letting him off the hook. But anyway.
So I forgave him, and Bo was like, "Listen, that's my brother. I'll be honest with you. I ain't gonna forgive you." And Bo was like, "Listen, this is my favorite line from Bo. Bo was like, "Listen, I respect you as a human that's on this planet, and I'm a human that's on this planet, but that's about it." And I'm like, damn, that was some cold heart. But you know what? It made me, I'll be honest with you, I'm like, that made me afterly, that's my mugger. I can't say that's my like that's my bro. He ain't gonna forgive him because he knows that what he did to me was wrong. And I will tell you, I listened afterwards to the show that he was on. That he got fired from and everything. Right. And I have actually talked to that host. He actually reached out to me and talked to me. And he even said on his show and also to me privately, man, your best friend was on point. He's like, the way Bo handled that, Bo got biblical on him, and Bo was not forgiving him. And a lot of people respected the way you handled it, and there were a lot of people that respected the way I handled it because I was saying, listen, I forgive you.
I will tell you. I've always respected the way you handle things, and that's why we do what we do and we work. Because I learn from you, you learn from me. We respect one another enough that we don't have a whole lot of issues. When you told me about that 4 minutes before this sumbitch walked in the door, my first words were, you don't expect me to be nice to this guy, do you?
And I said, no, Bo, I expect you to be you.
You do you. And I said, okay, great, because I really don't have any feelings for the guy. Not just for what he did to you, just because of his just continual perpetuation of all his BS.
You felt it like it made you look bad because you introduced me to him, and it doesn't.
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
And then I thought my wife reminded me that he said some stupid crap about us. When he got married, he said, I invited myself to his wedding.
That's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah, Bo invited himself to the wedding and pushed himself into the wedding.
And then we didn't bring a gift.
Did you bring a gift?
Yeah, we brought a gift. My wife is so socially conscious about all of that stuff, and she would have even thought for 1 second I invited myself.
Yeah.
We would have never gone.
I know, yeah.
And
I
if
forgot about
and
that.
when she goes somewhere, she knows the proper etiquette of all of that, and is so in tune with it. We got a gift.
And he said it on the show,
Yep.
so it made your wife felt like it made her look bad.
Exactly.
Which nobody's going to take Tuttle's word over your wife or you.
Let me get you one better.
Oh,
we did invite them to our wedding.
You did?
And they showed up.
Yeah.
And their check bounced. But my wife said, "No, I never want you to say anything about that." I'm like, "Yeah, blow me." His check bounced, and we didn't screw all of that. So that was the personal issue stuff that I had.
I didn't know that.
His damn check bounced.
Your wedding gift check bounced?
His wedding gift check bounced.
That he gave to you guys?
Yes, and he accused us of not even bringing a gift, which we did.
Yeah.
And we bring the appropriate gift. By the way, if you want to invite us to a wedding, we'll bring you an appropriate gift. But it just really set my wife off, and I don't, I love my wife, and nobody gets to piss her off except me.
Right,
and I do a good job.
And you do a fine job at it.
Exactly. Nobody gets to bother my
somehow
wife.
I do it and don't mean to, but whatever.
Well, it's because we're together.
Right.
We're an extension of one another. So all of that aside,
it could be it. Yeah.
I knew I came off like because I'm normally just a happy-go-lucky Bo. Nothing bothers me.
I got to tell you,
gets
though,
on my
everyone I
nerves.
talked to, though, was like, "Damn, Bo, that's a best friend."
Yeah, well,
and even on that other show, I'll say who it was, Bubba the Love Sponge, and I've talked to him directly. Here's what happened that was really weird after that. So after I forgave Tuttle, and you gave a little hell, but I flat out told Tuttle, "Look, I'll never trust you again. You're not coming on the show." I said, "But I forgive you if I ever see you. It's fine. We're cool. Don't worry. I want you to do better." So after that podcast, I got messages from Bubba Whoop-Ass Wilson,
right,
who has
been
negative.
MFing you all over town too,
for no reason, just like Tuttle.
Yep.
No reason. I did nothing but help those guys.
I don't want everybody to think that I'm sitting there blowing Russ, but you guys got to understand something. Russ gives these people who are talented and don't have a whole lot of other skill sets an opportunity to show off their skill set and make some money in radio and make a name for themselves. And when they start screwing it up, like I did the first time around, they blame him.
Yeah.
And they don't blame themselves, and they don't blame anything about what they did. You show up drunk several times. You show up inebriated and can't walk or function. You can't be around.
Yeah.
You go to rehab 16 times and you don't rehab, you can't be around. It ain't Russ's fault.
Wait, I get 16 rehabs? That's pretty dope, man.
But I think Bubba had 5 or 6. I don't know what it is.
16 days and quits.
But Bubba got hold of me and apologized for everything he had done. And I said, well, okay, Bubba, whoop ass. No problem. Once again, I forgive you. I don't trust you, but I forgive you.
Right.
We're good. If I see you out, I'm going to say hi. And then Bubba the Love Sponge got hold of me. And he's like, look, man, I trashed you. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. I was believing a lot of stuff Tuttle was telling me. Tuttle was the one that you brought your ex-wife to me, and Tuttle's the one that put all this stuff together, and I apologize. And I'm like, listen, man, I just want to be cool with everyone. I have no problem with you. We get no problems with each other, and I will tell you that, and there's another person too. I won't bring this one up, but another one that reached out to me and said, "Gosh, I'm sorry. I kind of done the same thing Tuttle is." So it really, by me, not apologizing.
Giving the kid the opportunity.
For me, forgiving this one person, it effectively helped work out stuff with 4 different people that were kind of MFing me all over the town.
Yeah.
And I felt like it was, for me, it was good.
I guess in your world, because you've been living in this world solid for 27, 28 years.
Only world I know.
I know. And people running around talking trash about you, it means something. In my world nowadays, you're running around talking trash about me, I'm like, okay, see ya. And I just don't deal with you.
Well, but in my business,
I know,
my reputation is
like I said,
super
in your
important,
world, it is important to monitor, understand, and keep that crap in check.
Yeah.
In my world, if you don't like me, I don't like you, and I ain't got to be around you. So, and people don't take time to go blog nasty crap about me.
Right.
People don't take the time, which is fine, because I just walk away. For me, it's easier to walk away than to fight it. You have to fight it because of what you do. It's your job.
Well, I haven't been fighting it. I've just been ignoring it and just going
Yeah.
on. But a lot of times if you ignore it and people don't feel like they're when Tuttle didn't feel like he was getting a reaction, he was making it worse and worse and worse.
Right.
And so anyway, since the last week podcast, I have reached out to Tuttle to see if he's okay. Have not heard from him. I know that he's not on the other show either. They're very upset because they said he lied about a lot of the stuff that he had said.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know nothing. All I know is for me to not have any reason to be angry at somebody, I feel better this week.
Hey, listen, I don't, like I said, it's easier for me to walk away. I did get a little backlash at the house because my wife said, I said, I probably came off like a little bit of an asshole, but it's just truly how I felt, and I don't feel that way often.
I don't think
and
you came off an asshole.
She said, you did, and I was uncomfortable. I said, well, I'm not taking it back. I'm not sorry. She goes, I don't expect you to be sorry. I just don't see you like that often, and so it made me uncomfortable.
And I had
that's fair.
I had forgotten about the personal stuff with you and Tuttle, and I didn't know that he had written you a check for your wedding and a house. I had no idea.
Yeah, again.
I thought you were just thinning me.
No, stuff like
Yeah, no, he was just mad about the wedding.
So
Yeah.
it wasn't about me. You're not the best friend in the world.
I've been-
Everyone was like on the other show. They were like, "Oh, he's the best friend in the
It's all
world."
about my wife, bro.
It's all about
It's all
your
about my wife, bro.
Yeah.
And you taught me that.
I know. Took me a while to learn that too.
Yeah, I'm not getting to 5. I'm staying at 2.
Yeah.
Underachiever.
Yeah, I know. What am I? I'm a loser. I'm a quitter.
Yeah, maybe try a little bit harder to get
No,
to 5.
like I said, Russ, I have a lot of respect for what you did. I don't even think you even knew the outcome.
No, I didn't know the outcome, but I will tell you, it's purely, to be quite angry, it was purely selfish of me. I just wanted to I don't want to be mad at Tuttle every time I see him somewhere. I don't be mad at Bubba the Love Sponge or Bubba Whoop Ass or anybody. People were like, oh, how come you haven't talked to Tom or Dan? If I saw Tom or Dan, I would say, hey, guys, what's up, and give a big hug. I ain't got, look, my life is so wonderful. I ain't got time to be mad at anybody.
Oh, yeah, we got life by the balls right now. We are shitting in high cotton. Both of us. I mean, I've got a great life, a great wife, a great job. You the same. Great wife, great life, and a great job. When we get together, we can't bitch about much.
Right.
We really can't.
So being angry at somebody for something that they didn't, look, here's the thing. I'm just going the steady course, and some of these people, if you see, they're having issues. They're having problems. A lot of times that stuff comes back to bite you in the ass. You start trying to screw over somebody.
You know what they call that, right?
What do they call it?
Taking the high road.
Yeah.
I've been trying to teach you that for years.
I appreciate
Take
it.
the high road.
Yeah, I appreciate you teaching
Take
me
the
that.
high road, yeah. Take the high road, you always win.
I should have learned from you a long time ago. What are you talking about, Knucklehead? Anyway, so
Hey, the lunch crowd's coming in here nice
by the
and
way,
easy.
we're at Nice and Easy. The food is great. It's Bo's favorite bar, and I see why. I've been here before. I love this bar. It's really cool. So another thing I want to talk to you about. I
Crush
get
it
some
here back
chicken
in the
wings.
day.
Did we wrap all that up? I mean, from last week?
Yeah, I'm done. I was done with it last week.
I know. But it's got so many. This has been our most.
As long as it's cool.
Our biggest podcast was the one last week.
That kinda sucks.
Somebody asked me, so why didn't you put this on the air with the Monster Show? And I'm like, you know what? It was more personal stuff, and in podcasts you can do that. You can do more personal.
And
you know?
it's me and you. It's
Yeah.
not monsters. It's Russ and Bo.
Yeah, well, no, the Tuttle thing is a monster thing,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But I felt more
But with
comfortable.
that program, that part of it, how we were interacted was.
I just felt more comfortable doing it on the podcast and not dragging everyone on the show. You know, Angel and Carlos and Ryan. Of course, Ryan was there, but I didn't like Ryan.
Yeah, I'm real mad at Tuttle. He really messed me over, man. Whoo.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. So Ryan was there, and he kind of fish out of water with this one because he didn't know all that backstory. I mean, you were sort of surprised by a lot of it, right?
Yeah, I learned a lot last podcast, and I also learned a lot. Like you were saying, your reputation is very important, and when somebody messes with that in this industry, and it could be so easily messed with. That was really eye-opening.
Well, think about it.
Did you think I was an ass?
No, but I mean, if you go back and watch it, because I went back and watched it as a premiere and was in the chat room with people because we were having problems broadcasting Bubbaloo's.
Right.
So I went and watched it, and your body language the whole time was just, you're having none of it. You like he said, what he said, like, I appreciate you as a human. We're both humans, and you keep on being a human.
Yeah.
That's pretty basic.
That's right. I
But-
mean,
but
Never full on apologize. I will say that.
He even started to go a little left, and I was about ready to.
And also,
really ugly.
if you listen, when you kept saying, Russ has asked you 5 times, what was the reason for you going after him so hard when he didn't do anything? And basically he said, well, Russ has always been stable in radio, and I've always had a jerky career. So basically he said, I'm just jealous.
Yeah, he was stepping on you to try and get up.
But with Ryan Holmes, I think this was a very good point. And Ryan shared this on the radio, and I don't know if you heard Bo, but Ryan said, when I got this job, I had a lot of people telling me, oh, you got to look out for Russ. He's going to do this. Russ is going to do that.
Oh, yeah, he's a sumbitch. You should ask me.
And that's stuff that Tuttle spurred by putting stuff on social media that wasn't true.
He was part of it, you're right.
Talking to a lot of people.
And the fact that you fire everybody and piss them off, that's the other part of it.
Yeah, I never fired anybody. That's the thing. They all usually just quit on their own. I put my head in the sand and let people have drug problems all they want. I don't
It
listen,
started with me.
I just want you to come in and be funny on the air. Yeah. I don't care what you do.
And one day I will do that, Russ. I promise.
Yeah, not according to Mom. Hey,
Ryan, but Ryan,
so
that is the truth, though. You had a lot of people telling you.
Yeah, I had a lot of people hit me up. Not even people like related to the show necessarily. Just because I used to listen a long time ago, like way back in the day, and I had people tell me like, "Oh, he's an egomaniac.
No, that's
true.
He will use you, and then he'll spit you out. He's gotten rid of so many people. Blah blah blah. Be careful around him what you say." And the experience that I've had knowing you in the year that I've known you has been nothing like that. You've been nothing but generous and.
Well, it's just because you keep giving and giving. Wait till you stop giving.
No, you're right. Yeah,
You're
I do.
done.
Well,
But that's the thing too. Like
He also cuts off your feet when he makes you leave.
It's so funny. People can look at things from different perspectives, right? I've had that before. Oh, you just use these people. No, I'm giving them the opportunity to do their best stuff on the radio.
Right.
And of course, I mean, if you want to call that using, I'm giving you an opportunity to be a star.
Yeah.
So there's that opportunity. It's not using.
it's on me.
It's
It's not on you.
Of course, if you want to say, oh, you're just using them for your show, no, I'm giving you an opportunity to be a superstar on the biggest morning show that's ever been in Central Florida.
Right.
And there's none bigger.
Right.
Yep. And so here you are. You have this great opportunity. So if that's using, it just depends on your perspective.
Ryan, is it symbiotic relationship?
I think
like that fish on the shark, that one fish, the sucker fish on the shark.
I've tried to analyze this, and I think what it happens is people think Russ is not talented because he surrounds himself with talented people. But what
That is his talent.
But that is
That is my talent.
that is in of
That's
itself
his talent.
exactly. He's the host of the show. He's the ringmaster, and I didn't know how important it was until either Angel or Carlos hosted, because obviously it's my first show I've ever worked on, and it goes differently. And Russ, his ability to make things go smoothly and knows all the beats of how everything works, and he lets you be you. Now you can F up and be in you, I guess, because everybody who's mad seems to have some kind of drug or substance problem or hard work problem or whatever. And I think that a lot of people did it to themselves. But when they do that to themselves, like you're very aware, you're very self-aware, Bo.
Yep.
But when these other people do that to themselves, they blame the person in charge.
Yep.
Like it's their fault.
Yep.
And I mean, heavy wears the head that wears the crown on that kind of stuff.
Well, I will tell you, Tom and Dan, I don't think ever had any drug issues or problems. Tom and Dan just wanted to do their own thing, and that's the only two that have left the show, and to my knowledge, didn't have some sort of internal issue. I learned early on it was my fault.
Yeah.
When I was doing cocaine and messing with all these girls out there, that was on me. Russ didn't do that. Russ never gave me drugs. Russ never gave me the phone number to the hookers. He just said,
Russ did give me moonshine.
Yeah,
I did give him
he will
yeah.
give you some moonshine.
Yeah.
Now, I will tell you, the hardest thing I think he's probably had to do, one of the hardest things he's had to do in his life or his career especially, is to make that phone call to me that says, hey, Bo, I don't want you to come back in.
No. I thought that'd be easy because it was management that told me, hey, listen, you got to call Bo and tell him either go to rehab or we're going to have to fire you. And I'm like, oh, that's fine. I'll get him to go to rehab. It's no big deal. I just tell him and he'll go. And if you would have been if you didn't have a wife at the time that told you what to do, you probably would have done the rehab thing for a month and came back a superstar. But instead, she was like, no, they're going to think you're a loser if you go to rehab.
It's 50-50, and I'm not going to blame everything on her. I'll blame things on myself like I've always done. It's 50-50. I thought back then, if I would have done that, if I'd gone to rehab, which I didn't think I needed, and rehab only works when you need it, and if I'd have gone, they would have owned me. The station would have never given me the raises. They would have never. This is my thought process. It's not the truth. It was never about you getting me more money. It was about staying stagnant at a $30,000 contract after I went to rehab, because now they own me. Now they can let me go whenever they want because I did go to rehab. Now they own Bo Rhodes. I didn't want that.
So instead you just quit.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes no sense.
I would have rather quit than to be owned.
Yeah, okay.
That was my thing
Yeah,
back then.
in a million
and
years,
you know what? Just so you know,
yeah.
It's the same way now. When they want to contract us, no morals clause.
Yeah, all right. Well, you never worry about morals clause.
Yeah, I don't worry about a contract.
Anyway, yeah, listen.
I hate you being the bartender, Rick. Damn it, man.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it, buddy. By the way, we're at Nice and Easy Bar, Bo's favorite bar, and I love it as well.
Oh, by the way, I'm supposed to say next week on Thursday. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Can we shut up?
Yeah, for a second. Hold on. Damn it. I was going to say something important to what we were just talking about. You're leaving the topic.
Being owned. I didn't want to be owned. People that left you, talking bad about you.
Yes, yeah. And people, think about this, okay? With a show like we've had, there have been, over 40 people that have been on the show as guests or whatever.
Yep.
So when you have 40 people like that, it's like a band, you know? Certain people are going to leave and they're going to be disgruntled. They're going to be upset. And that's just reality. You can't, you can't make everybody happy. And so, I think the track record is actually pretty good with everyone that's left.
Like I said.
There's a couple people, and there's been misunderstanding, like with the Tom and Dan thing, total misunderstanding. They think something that didn't happen, and I'm not going to go into it with them. And like if Daniel ever wants to sit down and talk to me about it, I'll be glad to sit and talk to him about it.
Hey, look,
I ain't mad
fine.
at them. They're fine, and they're happy. And here's the thing. When you're fine and happy, you don't need to make amends.
Make any problems.
And I don't need to make amends either.
Exactly.
I promote them on the show. I wish them luck. I've always loved Drunky. I think he's a great guy. Daniel I have a problem with, but he has a problem with me, and whatever. I want him to be okay.
Here's something weird about the best friend thing.
Yeah.
I am not as offended by Daniel as I am by Tuttle. Simply because Daniel is a whole lot more professional.
100%.
Daniel's a lot more talented. And just so you know, I've probably talked to those two 3 times since they left you.
Yeah.
And of course, I've never had a problem with Drunky. Drunky's just a great person.
I got no problem with
and
him.
Daniel, and Daniel is a great person.
People think I talk about, I call him Drunky as an
insult.
It's not an insult. It's not it's what I knew him as for 10 years. So I know he goes by Tom now, and I don't mean it as an insult or anything.
And my
like
wife's
that.
like, TC, it's TC.
Okay, whatever.
So anyway, I love the two of those. The other guys that come after you, because those two really didn't come after you. The other guys that I know of, the other guys that come after you, whoop ass, the other guy on that show, Tuttle. If you would have done something, I would know. That's my thing. If you would have done something, either you would have told me in one way or another, you would have gave it away, or I could have read, hey, Russ screwed this one up.
Right.
Because I know when you screw it up.
Yeah.
But you didn't, and that's where I start getting my dander up, and that's when I start getting my protective mode.
Yeah. Anyway.
So enough about that.
There's enough about that. Yeah. Hey, this is what I've not told you this yet, and I think this is super cool. So and I'm telling Bo because he's my brother, and we have this really the same. I say we have the same dad and the same mom, but you have obviously had another paternal mother and father, but my mom and dad are like
my mom and dad.
Are like your mom and dad, right?
Exactly.
So and you've gone through everything that I've gone through. Bo lived with us when we were kids,
in high school,
we've known each other forever. Yeah. So and he called my mom and dad,
and I call him brother, and his son my nephew.
Right.
So,
right.
It's family.
So so you for those that don't know, my father he passed away this year, which was very tough on all of us because it was sooner than we thought he was going to die, and
we didn't think he was ever
and he had die. 2 cars that he had restored and that were beautiful condition, and one is a 57 Chevy Bel Air, and he put it on consignment, and somebody stole it.
Yeah.
They sold the car, sent it to California, and never paid my father. It was on Channel 9 News. It was a really big story, and this was a car that my dad had bought so he could have some money later on in life for him and my mom.
Yeah, it was an investment.
And then there's another car that he had. He had 2 of them. The other one is a red 56 T-Bird. Thunderbird.
Show winning.
That is won every show it's been in.
Yep.
It was in the new Leave It to Beaver show. It's
on television.
Beautiful. I mean, how beautiful is the car?
No, it's amazing. It's a badass car.
Beautiful car. So
we can't drive it. We're too fat.
Mom and Dad still have that one. Mom still has that car to sell.
Yep.
Hopefully to go towards her retirement. Mom's in great shape. Mom's gonna be around for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
So even though they got screwed out of one car, they have this other car.
And when we're talking screwed, we're not talking like $20, $30. We're talking
$130,000 car.
One car.
Yeah,
$130,000.
And gone.
Yeah. That's money that don't go to the bank.
And I want to thank Jeff Coffin. He's working on it legally as much as he can, but these people don't have the money, so what are you going to do? So anyway, so we got this other car, this 57 T-Bird, or 56 T-Bird, and we're trying to figure out what's the best way to get the most amount of money out of it, so Mom has retirement,
Mom's cushion.
So I just found this out yesterday. So the Mecum auction, and I know you're in the car business, you know what the Mecum auction is. The Mecum auction, you can see it on television every year.
Yeah, not only every year, they run it, I don't know what channel it is, but you got to.
All the time.
Yeah,
it goes to different cities, but the big one this year is going to be in Kissimmee.
Kissimmee.
It's going to be Kissimmee, not West Palm. It's going to be in Kissimmee.
Wow.
And we talked to them yesterday, and they're going to allow us to put Dad's car in the Mecum auction. But get this year for the Mecum auction in Kissimmee, they're going to have the Bullet car. That's the car that was owned by Steve McQueen.
Right.
And it's the most famous
and it
car
was
in the movie Bullet.
Yeah.
It's the most famous car in movie history. There's only one of them. Now, a lot of cars they put in movies, there's 5 or 6 of them.
There has to be.
There's 15 Batmobiles, right? But with this car, the Bullet car, there was only one. The people that bought it after the movie Bullet, they bought it for $3,500.
Okay.
And then they had it, and they were using it as a car to go to work in and everything. Steve McQueen comes to them and says, "Listen, I'll buy you whatever car you want if you give me that Bullet car." And they were like, "No, we like this car. We're just going to keep it."
Isn't it a Mustang?
It's a Mustang.
Yeah.
A Mustang GT, I think. It was beautiful.
Badass.
And so they just kept it. Even though Steve McQueen wanted it, they just kept it for 40-some-odd years. They finally have decided to sell the Bullet car. It's projected to make the most money of any car ever because there's only one of a kind.
Isn't it like they're looking at $1 million for this car?
Oh, no. They're looking at 5 to 6,
million.
Possibly.
Million.
Yeah. And it's got no reserve on it, and they think the people like Jay Leno, people like Jerry Seinfeld are going to be bidding on this particular car, and Dad's car will be there with the Bullet car. So it's going to have the most attention, the most amount of people that ever will be at a Mecum auction is going to be at this auction.
So we need to position this car in the lineup after they lose. The bidders on the Bullet car lose. We need to be next, so they'll pay money.
I don't know. I think the Mecum people want to make this on a different day. They want to. It's going to be.
The Bullet's going to be a big deal.
The Bullet's a big deal, and they know Dad's car is going to be a big deal.
Okay.
Because it was in a television show, and it's in perfect condition.
Oh, it's badass.
And all that. My point is, for the Mecum auction this year, all eyes are going to be in the Mecum auction.
Yep.
And
you're right.
So that's kind of cool news.
That's way cool. So when does all this take place?
It's January, the first week in January, and I want you to come.
Okay, I want to be there.
I'm going to have Mom come out. Yeah. We're going to have a section for Monster fans.
Okay.
And we definitely should do a podcast. Ryan, we can do a podcast out there, right?
I'm
sure Mr. Ray will loan me his car carrier for us to tow it down there.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I need to get it towed down there because they said you shouldn't drive it much.
No, you're not going to. And Mr. Ray will help us. I'm sure he'll loan us his car carrier. Hell, he probably even let me have Joey, our guy at work. By the way, if you'd want to find me, I'm at Bill Ray Nissan.
Bill Ray Nissan.
Mr. Ray will sure loan me the car carrier. We can get it down there. We'll get it. We need to get somebody to spruce it up.
If you want to buy a car, ask for double R.
Yeah. I know. I call him. What did I tell him I was going to call him?
What are you going to call my son now?
I don't know. I was going to give him a nickname. Anyway, we'll get past that in a second.
Yeah.
But
my son works there, yeah.
Yeah, but sure Mr. Ray will loan me the car carrier, probably even give me a driver to take the car down there. We don't have to worry about that.
Mom said, I think it needs the battery charged. And I said, well, we're going to charge the battery, Mom.
We'll get somebody, a professional, to look at it before it goes.
Good.
Yeah,
good.
Make it happen. Yeah,
I'm really excited about it, though, because, okay, so here's the reason I bring this up is I have to ask you this question. So for the Bullet car, there's no reserve on it, which means, and that gets more hype for people. They're like, oh, this car has no reserve. So they want to know from me, for Dad's car, do I want to go no reserve, which gets a lot of chatter, a lot of talk, or do you put a reserve on it, which is like, okay, it's got to get at least this much. And I'm trying to think, what would Dad do? What would Dad do?
Oh, Dad would put a reserve.
Can I ask you a question
Dad
on
would
this
do
because
reserve.
I'm a little unfamiliar? If it goes for no reserve and it just the auction ends, are you legally bound to sell it for that price?
If, let's say I say no reserve and someone bids $3,000 and nobody else bids, then it has to go over $3,000.
Oh my God!
But it doesn't.
Do you have to? You
Yeah.
sure?
No, you have to. If you put no reserve, you have to.
I thought you could
But
sell anything.
the cars that don't have a reserve get more attention, more hype, more pop, whatever. And I want to.
It gets more people bidding because it
Yes.
starts so low.
Right.
Yeah. No. That car, you need a reserve.
I think I'm going to do no reserve.
Oh, that's
That
so
car-
risky,
that
man.
car,
I-
you need
you know
a
what? I'm a
$50,000
I'm a
reserve.
gambler. Dad would be proud.
You need a $50,000 reserve. That thing
No.
needs to start
Oh,
at
I'm
50,000.
bidding on your car then, just so you know.
See, that's the thing.
There you
A
go.
dum-dum will bid on the car because there's no reserve.
But the guy who's going to end up buying it is going to buy it for what he was going to buy it
It
for.
gets the hype going, man. It
Just
gets
called me a
it's a show.
I'm just telling you.
I'm
If they-
channeling
Well,
Dad. Dad, what would you do?
All right, here's what's going to
Well,
happen.
you know what, Dad? I'm the one that's still here, so we're doing it my way.
Here's what's going to happen.
This is just you getting back at your dad for
I'll
something you're
get
mad
you.
about when you're 12. Take this, Dad.
If it doesn't bring the money that it's supposed to,
Why would it not?
if it does not,
Why would it not?
Our plan B is you and I are buying it because we won't have to pay for it. We'll just have to pay the auction fee. Oh. So there's our safety net.
Yeah.
You and I are buying it.
That's why you're the
If
big man.
it don't bring the money,
That's why you're my
you and I'll
mama.
bid on it and we'll buy it.
This
We don't have
sounds
to pay for
very
it because
illegal.
we
I
own
don't
it.
know a lot about life, but
No.
this sounds like you shouldn't be able to do this.
If it's about to go for $3,000,
It ain't
we'll
going.
go for 4.
Yeah, exactly. No, we'll go 10.
Yeah.
All right.
No, well, 4 actually, because then we have to pay the tax or whatever.
I know
Yeah,
it
4
doesn't
grand.
work. In police auctions, if you're the criminal and it's your stuff, you can't bid on your own stuff.
Yeah,
But with
that's
Mecum,
the
you
beauty.
probably can,
That's
right?
the beauty of being brothers' last names.
Oh, there you go.
Rhodes, Rollins.
Man, you're smarter than you look.
I know that. That's what I've been told. And I drink well.
And
Yeah, you do.
And it drinks well. Hey, I love this bar. Look at the crowd at
told
Nice
you,
and Easy
man.
Bar in the middle of
Lunchtime, the golfers are starting to show
Middle
up.
of
Liz
Thursday.
and Vitalia back there taking care of us. Most all my bartenders. We're missing Mary Beth. But Stephanie's here. Jen's here. Liz is here. Is that Destiny? There's my prize fighter. Destiny's here. Mel's down on the end.
Hey, who's
Come here, Destiny. Come here. Say hi.
who's the bartender that about knocked some money out the other day?
That's her right here. That's
Oh,
her bringing
come
her
here,
over.
knock out-
Come
knock
here,
out
Des.
Queen.
Come here, Des.
Come here.
Come here.
Come here, knock out Queen.
Come here.
I
Give
gotta
me
ask you a
some
question.
love.
That's
You
okay.
still look good. Look at his butt.
Hey,
I'm sorry. Give me a hug. Give me a hug. All right,
What did somebody do to almost get knocked out? What do?
Well, I was.
Talk on the mic.
Well,
You know
I
how to
was
talk in
asked
these
by
things.
Rick to tell him to leave, and they were very disrespectful.
What, no, disrespectful. Like, what was it they said was disrespectful?
Well, they actually.
You can curse. What did she say?
I told her to sit.
Wait,
down,
you
she
can't say
wouldn't
the
listen.
F word. Sorry.
I told her to sit down. She wouldn't listen.
Okay.
She just wouldn't listen.
Listen
Okay.
to her being political. Wait, get 2 shots in her. She'll tell you what really
She's
happened.
very quiet
Yeah,
right now.
exactly.
Yeah. She gets nervous. She's shaking. She don't know what's shaking.
All right.
All right. She better
You
knock
look
somebody
awesome,
out.
even with no makeup. I'd wake up next to that. Get
I'm
over
just
there.
saying, the lady bartenders here will slap you if need to be slapped.
Listen,
but
Rick's got his house in order.
they're very nice, though. She doesn't like slapping people. She doesn't
No,
like
she
it.
doesn't want to slap
she
people.
doesn't wanna slap
will.
you.
She ain't slapped anybody for like a year and a half.
She wants
I
to
mean,
serve.
she ain't done it in a while.
She wants to serve you a shot. By the way, no one's had a shot yet. Ryan
You want a
Holmes-
shot?
Ryan Holmes, you need a
You want a
shot.
shot? What do you want?
Dude, that moonshine earlier
What
messed
do you
me
want?
up. You down?
Moonshine?
Somebody brought
We
me
got no
moonshine.
What kind of shot y'all want?
Not moonshine.
Give me a millennial
A
shot.
vodka neat. That's what I
millennial
drink.
shot.
That's not a shot.
I drink vodka neat. It's just vodka. It's room temperature vodka. That's what I
Jaeger
drink.
bombs?
He wants a slow gin fizz.
Jaeger bombs? Jaeger bombs and a Shirley Temple?
I don't care.
Liz, I need 2 Jaeger bombs and a Shirley Temple.
No, a vodka neat. Vodka neat for me.
Please.
A vodka neat. Was that just vodka in a
Yeah,
glass?
it's just
Yes.
vodka in a glass, room temperature. That's the way.
Ain't
That's the way
nothing-
real men drink.
Nothing neat
please.
about vodka.
Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah.
Potato
That's
stuff.
for Russians.
Sorry.
You're not Russian.
Anyway, but you know what we do say thank you to Rick because he
Thank you, Rick. We love this
Rick
place.
buying our chicken wings. He's buying our beer. I'm probably buying the shots. And he
Hey,
had
what-
us out here after all these years.
Hey, if you buy the shots, use the credit card you have that doesn't work.
One time, bitch. One time. It's like Tuttle wrote a bad check. One time.
Never forget it. Never forget it.
I honestly, I think it's funny as hell.
What you
For-
don't
for
know
your
is I
wed-
got 5 to back them up.
for your wedding gift. Tuttle give you a check to bounce.
Yeah. And do you think we said anything? No.
Not until now.
No, my wife's got too much class. I don't. She does.
Oh, so she
I
told
got
you
no class.
She told you not to say anything?
She told me about it, and she's like, Bo, no. She told me once because she knows me.
Yeah.
Because I'd have went to his house and said, hey, Dick, you going to get this right? You going to make this better? But she didn't want to embarrass his wife at the time.
Oh.
Because, and his wife is a sweetheart. Don't get me wrong.
And his wife is still friends with my ex-wife.
That makes her not a sweetheart.
No, that's the good ex-wife.
There's
Oh my God.
so many to choose from.
I know.
No, Kate fine.
Okay, stop.
Kate's fine, yeah.
You're like a divorce magician. Like, pick a wife. Anyway.
Anyway,
Wait a minute,
exactly.
you don't know which one I'm talking about.
This one, I'll take this one.
No, she's friends with that one. She's nice. I like
Yeah. Remember the time she showed up at my house?
Yes.
Kate, that freaked me out.
Uh-oh, you're in trouble now.
No, there's a customer, actually.
she's
Maybe he's listening.
watching
If
on
you're
YouTube
listening,
right now.
All right, listen. Okay, so now you wanted to tell us what we're doing next Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
kind of cool.
Halloween.
So I'll let you do it now.
Halloween, we're going to do Thursday next week. I have to get up to work. We're going to get out there probably around noon, I would imagine.
Okay, whatever.
That's what we normally do, 11:30 to noon. We're going to be on Andretti's karting.
That's Halloween.
Halloween day, not night.
I know, but I'm
daytime.
going to be dressed up for the show, so whatever it is, I'm wearing a costume.
Perfect. People need to come see that because I'm going to be dressed as a car salesman. And so we're going to be at Andretti's karting out on I-Drive. So if you're in the area, if you can make it, come see us, come hang out because he's kind of opening up the joint. And the place is amazing. They got food, they got beer, they got carts, everything I like. You can drive and drink right there.
You can drink and drive, huh?
You can drive right there on it.
It's
I'm
actually,
sure they don't prefer it, but you can.
This will be the only time Bo's allowed to drive.
I don't even know if I am yet. We haven't figured. I haven't gotten there.
You
yet.
don't have to show him a driver's license, do you?
I think you might.
Oh.
I think you might. I'll just show him yours.
Oh, I've done this. And thank you so much, buddy. I haven't done a Jaeger bomb in forever.
So
man.
bottoms up with your damn vodka neat there, millennial boy.
By the way, we're nice and easy.
It's
all right?
keto friendly, Bo. It's keto friendly.
keto friendly.
You're not being friendly right now.
There you go.
Cheers,
All right.
fellas.
It's keto friendly.
I ain't
It's
done one of these
nice
in
and
a while.
easy. It's an awesome bar. We appreciate them having us here. Bobo, there you go.
Anyway, you guys come to my bar. I love it here. You guys hear me talk about it a lot. It's right down the street from where I work at Bill Ray
Hey,
Nissan.
I forgot I like those.
I do too. That's
I
why
haven't done a
I'm
Jaeger bomb in a long time.
I know. We're going to be dancing off the walls here lately.
I might fall asleep. And tonight we're gonna we're gonna go see Ryan Holmes.
Yep.
Yeah, he's
doing
awake.
he's doing trivia.
Should have drank a Jaeger bomb, bitch.
Yeah. He's doing trivia out at Bubbaloo's Barbecue in Apopka.
And your son's coming.
I know.
I let him off early.
I know.
He actually was
bring him a
Your
wine.
son is doing a great job. You can see Ryan. You can see Russ's baby bird baby at Bill Ray Nissan as well.
The bird baby.
That's what I call it.
I'm excited to meet. I really only met him one time, and it was at the funeral, and I was ruining the funeral at the time, so I felt real bad about that.
We blame that on Carlos, just so you know. I've always blamed that on Black Bean.
You ruined his grandfather's funeral. So we'll make sure to bring that up.
If he wants to ruin my trivia show tonight, he's totally allowed.
Hey, how's trivia gonna be tonight? Is it gonna be? You want to give some answers?
You know what? I put full maximum effort into it. I've got some really fun stuff planned. There's a lot of visual stuff, some audio stuff, and just some general silliness that just people like to have fun with.
Oh, so you did some work on this one.
Yes. Oh, I don't. The one place I don't phone it in is Bubbaloo's. Like I've been doing trivia a long time, but I love Boo so much that I'd never phone it in. I try to bring a little bit extra.
She is the nicest lady, and she helped us with Kicks for Guns. Kicks for Guns today.
Oh
Yeah.
what the hell are we doing? You didn't talk about it.
Well, you know what? We're busy doing this. We've
We've been talking about it all morning.
I did television today.
Kicking ass like always.
It's doing great, and Bubbaloo's helped as far as feeding the officers, to get lunch and stuff.
I remember when we started that.
Yeah.
You and I started that, and you were like, what are we going to call it? What are we going to do? And I was like, well, back then, the term for tennis shoes
was kicks.
So that's what we came up with.
Yeah. Problem was we decided to do it down at the Citrus Bowl, and we didn't have permission from the police.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're just collecting guns. Evidently, that's frowned upon in this establishment.
No sense of humor about that, but anyway.
But they fixed it. Detective Barb's always taking care of us.
She's great. Love her to death. All right, listen, it's nice and easy bar. Thank
Come on
you guys
down.
for
We're going to have a
having
couple
us.
more beers.
Yeah, food is great, and we appreciate Ryan, you have fun?
I had a great time, and if you enjoyed the podcast, make sure you share it.
Please share it.
Share it with your friends, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you haven't done so yet, do all that kind of fun stuff. Click the bell so you get all our notifications and all that as well.
And also, if you want us to come out and do this at your bar, your place of business.
Oh, yeah.
Do
we
it in
can
your living
that.
room.
Yeah, if you got
Right price,
Yeah.
living room.
Yeah,
do it
if
anywhere.
you got a hot wife, we'll really do it in the living room.
Just
kidding.
go to russandbo.com and get hold of Scott York.
Scotty York, our
He's-
business manager.
He's our business. I don't like talking business. I don't like talking
No.
money. I don't like doing any of that. I just like to dance on the hot plate.
I know. I got to go collect money from Rick, and this is the hardest shit I do.
That's your business. I don't do that.
Yeah, I need Scotty.
That's what Scotty York does. But
Right.
Scotty York had to work today. But love to him. russandbo.com and get hold of Scotty York if you want us to come out to your place.
Yep, that's about it.
All right, we ain't got to go home.
But we got to get the hell up out of here, swirls.
Yes. I've got it backed up 3 different recordings. We're good. We're good. All right. Thank you so much, YouTube. Listen, like I said, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Talk to us in the comments on this video. Actually, what did you like about the podcast? What was your favorite part? Do that whole thing, and listen on iHeart wherever you like Russ and Bo.